Hey Sagittarius, Mariah here. I'm going to go ahead and get into your November reading. Let's see what's going on. Hopefully you guys have been doing okay. Also, your singles reading should be posted. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and click on the iCard that should now be appearing in the upper right hand corner. If you want to check out for your singles, completely single as a Pringle, Sagittarius reading, definitely give it a view because it was really, really good actually. So, Queen of Wands. You starting out. Zombie Tarot. I love this deck. Queen of Wands. Theme of the month. Being in your power even if you may not feel like it. Do you feel like it, Sagittarius? Do you feel like you're in your power? We're starting off with today's November 3rd. Some of you may work in the medical field, or some of you may be a nurturer or caregiver in some way, whether it's for your family, friends, or people in your community. But there's something here about using that power that's within yourself to nurture yourself, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't feel good, right? That fake it till you make it quote, if you will. This is a month for you though, Sagittarius. Wow. Wow, definitely if you are single as a Pringle, please check out that singles read. Because this energy is now starting to show up here. But keeping this in the scope of being general, bottom of the deck, we do have the Tower. This is very, how can I put this? No. You know what this is, Sagittarius? This is a MF and game-changing month for you. That's what the hell this feels like. It's an MF and game-changing month for you. Whether you feel it already or you don't feel it, whether you feel like you're in your power or whether you don't feel like in your power. When I tell you this, baby, it is a game-changing month. I don't say that in a light way. We got the Wheel of Fortune here, along with the Knight of Cups. Dreams fulfilled. But not only that, this is fate. This is a very fated month for you guys. I know, I believe it's a full moon or new moon. It's one of those moons in Taurus starting tomorrow, November 4th. And that is a game changer for a lot of us. For a lot of us in the month of November. But for you specifically, Sagittarius, with this also being your birthday month, it's a game-changing month in the scope that a lot of things that were built on faulty foundations are coming down, are crashing down in the month of November. And it's not a bad thing. And right underneath that is the Three of Pentacles. Something's coming down for you to rebuild it. Whether this is, I'm just going to touch on love very briefly, right? Whether you are currently in a connection and the way that the dynamic has been going, it's now going to be transformed. That connection is going to be stabilized even further. Or again, if you're single as a Pringle, check out that singles read. Somebody's coming in out of the blue that's fated for you to meet. Either way though, outside of love, what is it that you dream of? What is it that you hope for? What is it that really sparks that creative gene within you, right? Whether it's a business plan or starting your own business, whether it's an artistic endeavor, or whether it's something that you've always thought about or wanted to do or wanted to experience, but maybe haven't or haven't had the time or just haven't had the chance. There's something around the flow of your imaginative, creative, and also romanticized space here in the month of November that's a fated event. I will tell you this, Sagittarius, in your birthday month, I know it gets a little colder around November, so depending on where you are, it may be a bit harder to get out. But I would say if you are able to get out and do things that really make you feel good or that make you feel alive, because I'm getting the sense of electricity through the veins that make you feel alive. Again, back to this fake it till you make it. Even if you may not feel like it, even if you may feel like you don't have the fire or the gusto to go out and do, please try to. Because it feels like you run into somebody or you run into a circumstance that will transform your life for the better. So let's keep going. I love this. More for my Sagittariuses. And the thing about this is, though, it doesn't matter what... and it's so crazy how this is going to work out for you, Sagittarius, because it doesn't matter where you throw the knife on the board. You still get to the destined path of where fate is trying to take you. So even if you were a Sag that says, you know what, I'm just going to stay at home for this month, outside of going to work, but I just want to be a hermit. You may end up being at home and you may see something on TV that really sparks an idea for you to go and do something or try something, or on your commute to work, you may see somebody out in the world, or somebody or something may happen that sparks you from taking one route home to go another route. And lo and behold, you may come across like I don't know, for an example, it's the holidays, like a season festival, right? And you stop and you go because you just want to check it out, and you meet somebody, or you get introduced to a new way of, activity or something that really transforms your life. And again, this is only an example, but you get introduced to a new form or way that transform your life in a way that you didn't expect. This month, expect the unexpected. I love this. So even if you try to fight this energy, which is not an energy you would want to fight because it's for the better, this is actually really beautiful. But say if you decide, you're one of those Sagittariuses that just doesn't get out much, or doesn't, you feel like those fated events don't really happen to you this month, I would beg to differ. Knight of Swords. May I have another? Okay, we got two more. We got the Four of Cups and the Seven of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Six of Cups and the Hierophant. Ooh, love is really present. And this wasn't supposed to be a love reading, but it's showing up present here. But again, I'm still going to keep it very general for you. Knight of Swords, Four of Cups, Seven of Swords. Yeah. You need a shake-up, Sagittarius. You do. You do. This month, if I can ask you a question, and I always say this, right? Can I ask you a question? But honestly, can I? If I can ask you a question, when was the last time that you were a little devilish? Not in an evil sense, we're not going religious route. But I mean, you did something really spontaneous. And this is all about your energy, because Sagittarius is, you are the archer, right? So you live for spontaneity, right? You live for new adventures and new life experiences. When was the last time you've had a really good one? When was the last time you had a really good change or experience in your life that really shook the table, that really shook the ground you stood on? Not in a bad way, but in a really mind-blowing, I don't want to say life-altering, nothing to that severity, but it feels like that, right? For an example, say, and I'm not saying this is what you guys are going to do, but just take a person that has never been skydiving, and they get up the guts to say, you know what, I'm going to go skydiving. I'm going to try it. I'm scared as all hell, but I'm going to still try it. And they do it, and their life has changed forever because they realize, because they were able to do that and experience that exhilaration and that freedom, they no longer have fear in a lot of areas in their life anymore, right? Because in that instance, when you jump off that plane, a lot of times what tends to run in your head, and for that split second, what if this parachute doesn't open? I could possibly be facing my mortality. You drop for a few seconds, and then it opens. And you realize there was nothing to fear. That's what this month feels like for you. This month is going to push you to your core and push you to the edge, but in a beautiful way. Again, nothing to be afraid about. But what it's going to do is there's some form of experience, or there's a person that you're going to meet that's going to push you to your edge, that's going to push you outside of your bounds, outside of your boundaries, outside of your limits, to shift you in the direction you are meant to go. And this is fated. It feels like for some of you, you may have been in a place of being a bit comfortable. And that's not the energy you normally reside in, Sagittarius. So there's a bit of self-deception here, Seven of Swords. There's a bit of self-deception, holding oneself back from all of the experiences and opportunities. And even if we don't take it to those extremes, even if it's on the baseline of learning new philosophies or new cultures or new understandings of people and experience. And that's another thing that what you guys are all about. You guys love learning. You guys love understanding different cultures, different religions, different philosophies, different ideologies, different beliefs. You love all that. And there may be somebody that tests your belief and make you think outside of your own horizons that you could have set for yourself. They're going to push the boundaries of your limited nature to expand even further. And this month is all about the great expansion, all about the great voyage. So whether it's through love, whether it's through experience, or whether it's through conversation, Whatever happens in this month for you, Sagittarius, is going to transform you in a beautiful way and create a new foundation for whether it's your love life, your beliefs, whether it is work, whether it is, your ideals. And I love this because it's bringing you back with the Six of Cups to kind of round it back again. It's bringing you back to your core soul center of that freedom, of that limitless position that you guys are born with. You guys are absolutely limitless. And sometimes life and ourselves, we can put limitations or boundaries or restrictions on ourselves, right? We get accustomed to certain daily routines and beliefs, and we feel comfortable in that. And that's not where your soul space as a Sagittarius resides. You're meant to constantly push the boundaries. You're meant to constantly be daring against your own beliefs and your own ideals and what it is that you want. You're all about expansion. And it feels like for some of my Sagittarius that I'm speaking about, you may have limited, those expansions, right? We may have gotten comfortable. No more, not November. Not for you, Sagittarius. So let's keep going. I love this energy for you. So, for my Sagittarius is in the month of November. What do they need to know? What does my Sagittarius need to thank you? Door to personal healing and happiness. I love it. All right. Bravery is the first thing I heard. Are you brave? You could say yes. You could say no. You could say, Mariah, what the hell are you talking about? Right? But I ask you this in all sincerity, Sagittarius, right? I do ask you this. Because when I look at door to personal healing and happiness, what could have happened while we gotten comfortable or set ourselves in a certain disposition and not really have allowed ourselves to enjoy the expansion that our soul needs, right, as a Sagittarius. The reason why I'm bringing up Are You Brave is because you may have dealt with some experiences, whether it was in love, whether it was in life, whether it was with family or work, situations that may have hurt you, hindered you, for some of you maybe even traumatized you, right? Where in a lot of times what tends to happen when we're hurt, there's a portion of our brain cortex, right? There's a portion of the cortex that almost becomes paralyzed to hurt, to pain, and to trauma. So what happens is once we are hurt, we don't want to experience that again. So we tend to box ourselves into a certain level of comfortability that protects us, right? And all of this happens in the brain. It's a psychological response. So when that does happen, we box ourselves in, we become comfortable, and we end up setting up certain parameters, routines, and barriers that prevents us from experiencing those things again. But what's going to happen for you this month, Sagittarius, is like if I was to pull the flesh, right? The flesh right off of your hand, what happens then? All of your nerve endings are exposed. And any slight touch to the nerve ending will feel like an electrocution, will feel like an electric shock that runs throughout the entire body. It's very painful. The beauty about this is, though, not to get all scientific, I'm going to get off of this for a second, but the beauty about this is that shock isn't a painful shock. It's a invigorating shock. I've been missing this. I've been missing feeling free. I've been missing being able to explore the different parts of my mind. I've been missing being able to explore a new relationship that feels alive and feels good and feels healthy. I've been missing being able to take those daring adventures and be explorative. That's what's going to happen for you in the month of November, which allows a lot of the healing to happen in that portion of the cortex that we've become paralyzed to because we don't want to face those hurts and fears, so we box ourselves in. This month, your nerve endings will be exposed. And you're going to get a shock, but it's the shock of your life. It's a wild ride, and I love this for you. So, even if you try to say, you know what, like I said earlier, no, I don't want to, no, I'm going to stay to myself. I I don't know if I want to do all this or all that, which is, again, not your energy, but just say if you're one of those Sagittariuses that are. Unfortunately, but fortunately, with this Wheel of Fortune, you can't escape it. This is a part of your fate. And I love it for you. I absolutely love it for you. So let's keep going. One last card here for my Sagittariuses. What do they need to know for the month of November? Thank you. Blessings and abundance. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? So, all of what's happening for you is in higher divine purpose, is in higher divine timing, of course. But more than that, there's so many blessings. There's so much abundance that you're going to feel. And there's so many blessings that is going to come into your life from being able to step outside of this Four of Cups, right? Boredom, mundane, humdrum, the routine, these parameters you may have put up. There's so many blessings. And the thing about Sagittarius, your sign is Jupiter. Jupiter is ruled by luck. Jupiter is ruled by expansion. Jupiter is ruled by blessings. So you naturally have that disposition as a Sagittarius. So the more you actually tap into that Jupiterian energy and really start going outside of your comfort zone and your limits, the more blessings you see because you have that Jupiter power, that energy fueling you. It's all about luck. It's all about blessings. The more daring you are, the more you step outside of what you feel is comfortable. And it's all correlating and tying back into each other. So Sagittarius, I'll just ask you this last question before I wrap up. Are you ready to be daring in this month? Are you ready to do something different? Are you ready to step out of your comfort zone, whether it's for the first time or whether it's for the millionth time? Are you ready to do it? Because in the month of November, you're getting pushed. And you're getting pushed into the deep end, but in the most abundant way. Sagittarius, I absolutely love you. I hope November is such a loving, filled, exciting, invigorating, thrilling month for you. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy your birthday season. I love all of you. Again, check out the singles readings. If you are absolutely single as a Pringle and you ain't got nobody. All right, check that out, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Love you all to pieces. Bye.